when you clean the house, put away the dishes just to hear not tonight.
There are men complaining that their wives don't want to have sex with them, and then I see videos like this and can't understand the confusion. You shouldn't be doing the dishes to get laid. You should be washing the dishes because they need to be cleaned. Imagine if your wife only did things around the house for compensation, because as far as I can tell, the only thing women get for doing dishes is more dirty dishes and a clean sink. I know some of you feel like a hero when you've done something around the house, but you didn't clear her schedule. You just took one thing off a list of 100 other obligations. And that's the difference between doing something for applause and participating in a household because you live there. Do you know how exhausting it is to watch someone want to be celebrated for the same thing you do daily without notice? You took on one thing to be rewarded. She takes on everything because she has to. And you consistently prove that you don't care about supporting her as a person, but you want her to lay down like a woman that feels loved, supported, and adored. And you send the message that you don't see her as an equal, because if you didn't think it was woman's work, then you wouldn't expect to be rewarded for doing it as a man. But do you actually think she doesn't notice that you only do what you should when you want to get laid? Because you end up acting like a kid who will only clean his room for an allowance. And then you get angry when you don't think you got the gratitude you deserve. And that's the problem with only doing something to be rewarded. You end up feeling
It seems like she's really projecting hard here. I mean, this guy made a tiny video and she's extrapolating all these things of like pretty much the wife is just working, slaving away, working 2 jobs and all this other crap. Let me tell you something. Women have been telling us for a long time that if we want to get laid, if we want to get attention, a good way to do it is to do things around the house to free up more time for her, right? This is what they tell us. They say, don't nag. Don't ask your wife all the time for sex. Instead of asking, do some stuff around the house. Be romantic. Free up time, because that turns on women. And then here we go. She's telling you this is actually not the case, that you shouldn't expect it. You should just do it just to do it. I mean, listen, here's the thing. All these women that are slaving away, I don't see them. I don't know them. I've been around for a long time, and I don't see them. I don't know where they are. You know, my wife, she does a lot. She does the dishes. She cleans up around the house. She takes care of our son. She does do a lot. But again, I cook all the meals. I make all the money. My wife doesn't have to work. And I still watch the kid throughout the day because I'm working from home. So no complaints there. But before, in prior relationships, I always made all the money. And I never saw people slaving away, running around, doing stuff like you're describing here. She's describing a wife from the 50s. But the reality is this is not the case. I have yet to meet a woman that knows how to cook. And you're telling me, in all these years, I've always done a lot of the cooking. And you're telling me that she's slaving away, doing a job, and that this is just the minimum. This is another thing. Like, here's what I say. I have a certain standard of cleanliness, right? I do things a certain way. Now, we can compromise. I can step it up a little bit. But the reality is, if you're living with me and you come in with me and you got a different standard of cleanliness and it bothers you if something's sitting over there, then you pick it up. It's your responsibility. You can't come live with me and suddenly become a Nazi and be like, well, this is what I expect. And then you hold me and you tell me when to do it, how to do it. You got to do it this way and do it. No, listen. You know, you can have all the standards in the world, but that doesn't mean that yours is the right way. I'm okay with a sock being on the floor. I'm okay with a couple of dishes being in the sink and then me waiting to the end of the day. I'm okay with the trash can filling up before I bring it out. Okay? And if you want it differently, then you do it. But don't try to convince me and tell me that I got to do it your way, because then that's craziness. And I feel like she's really projecting. She's obviously had bad experiences, but this is not the reality of couples today. I'm telling you. If someone is working, if both people are working, nobody is expecting somebody to do all of the dishes and all the housework. In what world does this the reality? But whatever, in her mind, maybe she was treated this way, and so she projects it. And the whole thing with the sex, that's a whole nother thing. Women love, I think, to tell you that it's always your fault if you're not getting sex, right? You're like, oh, you're married, you're not getting sex. Well, you need to be more patient. Well, she's tired, you're not doing enough chores. That's really what turns them off. Help out around the house. Okay, you do that. Well, now you can't expect sex. What does it matter? It's not a woman's duty to please you. You know, you want sex, you got to get in shape, you know. Damn, you're all fat, you're not doing exercise anymore, you're not doing so. Okay, I'll take care of myself. Hey, you see, you're stinky, you're not taking enough showers. All right, 2 showers a day, I'm running, I'm going to get in shape, get my shit together, get a good job. You don't even have to work anymore. I got everything away. I got everything squared away. Then what do they tell you? They tell you something else. It's like, well, they had this. They got stresses. You can't always be nagging. Oh, you're asking too much, and now you're not going to get it. It's childish. Okay? When you marry someone, you're in a relationship, you're telling that other person they can't sleep with anybody else. You're done. You can't sleep, can't be doing stuff with other people. So if you tell them that, you have a responsibility to please them, right? And if you want to do it once a week, once a month, once a year, that's fine. But that has to be outlined before you come in a relationship, before you move in together, before you get married. Because people get upset when things are a certain way before and then they change, okay? And that's upsetting. Now, listen, if somebody gained 100 pounds or shit's going sideways, I don't blame the person for not wanting to have sex. I don't complain. But get yourself straight. But if a guy goes to the gym, gets himself straightened out, showered, cleaned, groomed, helps out around the house, making the money, everything he can, well, then you guys need to go to therapy and there's no more excuses. Like, when are too many excuses be too excuses? Because you can't keep telling somebody they can't sleep with anybody else, but then you don't want to provide for them. Am I going crazy here? Is it just me? I'm being reasonable. I'm a really laid back person. But you hear this person is just painting all these guys as just lazy cavemen that just go around, oh, I did a dish, now you got to bang me. No, listen, she's bitter. She's got like 3 million followers on social media. So here's another one, but you know what? I'll do the other video tomorrow of hers. What do you guys think of these situations? It's a weird video the guy did, but I think it was a joke. She took it like as gospel. But let me tell you something. There's always more to the story. There's no reason to jump the gun and be like, oh, Marona. Thank you guys for watching as always. Buy red and sell green. I'm telling you, the world is going to shit.